Things Motoring is owned and brought to you by CHANGECARS, South Africa's trusted online vehicle platform. Whether you're looking to buy, sell or just need advice, visit changecars.co.za.
Last week on All Things Motoring, we started our adventure at the Brop Inn with Eugene and Victor. This week we dive further into this amazing collection. This time we chat bikes, the SA Rally heydays, and learn more about how a Rotary engine works.
We're standing in front of a car that very few people will not know. So every brand has a particular model that people remember. I won't lie, I'm not a fan of the Peugeot brand per se. I'm not anti-Peugeot, but I'm not a particular fan. But there's one model that always sticks in mind, and that is the 404. In your opinion, is this the most iconic Peugeot of all time?
Definitely. Don't know how many people comes in here and said my father
Correct.
or
my dad had one.
Grandpa had one like this. It's the most talked about car actually in our museum.
Now it's interesting because I said about iconic. Normally cars go forward. In my opinion, Peugeot went backwards afterwards. The 504 was still a good car, but everything thereafter, 505, I don't keep track of the numbers. Something like this, roughly the year, late 60s?
This is 67, 68,
now,
yes.
The condition for our viewers, you will go a long way, all the way to Paris in France possibly, and the Louvre Museum or wherever that is in France, to find a more original one. What would the story behind this one be? Do you know?
This car is a car that hasn't been touched. It's a 100% authentic original car.
But you can see it. You look at the wheels, you look at the interior, you look at the dashboard. Something like this is a sight to behold. Moving on, looks like you got something here that's from American?
Yes, that is a 64 Valiant Barracuda, and it's also one. We are the second owners.
That's incredible.
Yes.
But this really interests me. Buick Skylark. I don't know if you've ever seen an American movie called My Cousin Vinny. Set in 1992 in America. The whole thing centers around metallic blue, green, whatever the color was, 1967 Buick Skylark. One of the things that strikes me about all these big American cars is the size of their boot. There was one movie, I can't remember it, but it was about a mob scene, and they said how many bodies could fit in a boot. The exact term was, they said, this is a 5-body boot. Now, the Europeans, I think they were a little bit more sophisticated. I'm still fascinated by this beautiful Peugeot.
Fun fact, this boot is about 557 litres in space and can comfortably fit an adult of 1.81 meters.
What weight?
92 kgs, thanks.
Gugu, I must compliment you. You always do your homework. You always read up.
Of course.
Question.
Someone has to.
Question.
Sure.
Not for you. Wat dink jy?
Ek dink hy praat stront.
Do you feel like some lunch?
Yes, please.
Lunch, everybody. Many times today I've spoken about passion. The fact that you've got a museum is passion enough. Equally, many times today I've asked you about the history of cars. You've given me a detailed history. I want a detailed history of your history.
Yeah, my history, my cars, the love of cars, and started with a big friend of mine, Werner Boshoff, many years ago, actually 85.
In 85, you were 18?
No, yeah, 18, that's correct, yes.
Anytime I can help you remember your age, no problem.
No, math is better
So
than mine.
1985?
Yeah, he introduced me into the sport called rallying. I did it in my first rally, servicing in 85, and a passion for rally started, as you can see.
For sure.
Yeah, this is my rally corner.
Now, if I say to you 1985, some of the big names that played a role in your life or were an influence to you or that were your heroes, anyone come to mind?
Yeah, I started with Nico Nienaber and Werner Boshoff, as I said, and then again Koos Roos on the Skylines.
Now that Skyline there, just as a matter of interest, only rear-wheel drive?
Yes,
Those weren't the days where four-wheel drive was anything but an Audi Quattro.
that's it.
And that was a man that
That
had
was
to hang
an-
on to that.
That was rallying.
And from there?
From there, I serviced for Kobus Roos, his son, and and the passion for rally is there. In that period, I've met Uncle Cassie Kutsia, Hannes Grobler, all those names. I had the privilege of have them here about a year or two ago. I had a big party with them, and that's my passion. Rally is my passion.
So Victor, I think it's fair to say, at our age, we always look back. It can be tennis, it can be motor racing, it can be soccer. We always think the old days are better. And I will debate it with anybody. The old days always are better. Why is what we grew up with as people we can relate to? The rally scene in South Africa today, is it still an active rallying community?
There is an active rally community, not as active as in these
Yes.
days, but still, luckily.
And you know what I put that down to? Just people's lifestyle. When we were growing up in the 70s and 80s, the world was slower. You didn't have the cell phones, you didn't have the computers. Overseas was a faraway place. Today, the world is so close that we actually don't have time to focus on stuff like this. Again, looking around here, the pride, the passion, I'll say it again and again. You can see it shines through. Well done to you.
Thank you very much.
Eugene, I believe you're the bike guy around here. You've collected one or two bikes. Tell me more.
Yeah, Gugu, it started as a love affair with bikes with friends of mine that was into bikes from when I was at the age of 18, 19. And then I started first with the Suzuki GSX 1100. It's a silver
the one on
bike
the corner there?
that you see there in the corner. And I had a bike like that for about 2-3 years. That was my only commuter. And then the first bike that I started driving on is a Yamaha XS850, the second bike that we've got over there. And from there, I sold my GSX, and then it went over to just starting to build up another bike. So I bought the R80, the BMW bike.
Yeah.
I bought it from a scrapyard and completely from scratch. It was a basket case that I bought it from. And then it built it up and started driving with it. And then after that, I got the Yamaha XJ550 from a guy in
This one
Kempton.
over here.
The red
Yeah,
and the blue and the white bike. And very original bike. It's got 26,000 kilometers on. Very nice to drive.
What year?
It's a 1982 model.
1982.
Yes.
Wow.
The BMW is a 1980 model. The Moto Guzzi at the back of us, that's a 1980 model. I'm the proud owner of it, the second owner. The bike's got it's only 16,000 kilometers on. It's a unique bike. It's probably the bike that I like the most because of the sound. It's like a V8.
It's a V8.
Beautiful.
Wow.
The sound on it is superb.
You say you love these bikes, Eugene, but you don't ride them much. With this little mileage, you're not riding these bikes.
We try and preserve them for later on, and also the conditions on the road nowadays is a little bit hectic, and the older you get, the more
The less,
sissy you get with the things.
the more apprehensive to risk and danger you become.
Yes, definitely.
Okay,
That's
okay.
a fact.
So then that's the V8 sounding bike. The
Yes.
how do you pronounce it? Moto Guzzi?
Moto Guzzi.
Moto Guzzi.
Yes,
Moto
that's
Guzzi,
it.
Moto Guzzi.
Yes,
That
same
one.
thing.
Yeah.
Good.
So Eugene, I just want to chat about this Yamaha Turbo over here. I've never ridden a bike with a turbo. I've obviously driven cars with a turbo. How does it feel? What are the characteristics of a bike that has a turbo on it?
Yeah, you must remember in that era, those bikes came out with the turbos, and you had that turbo lag at that period. A lot of people died because of those turbos.
Really?
The main thing is, with those bikes, you weren't supposed to open the throttle when you go into a turn.
Yeah.
You used to lose control of those
Yeah.
bikes. The power came in
Spools up,
instantly,
yeah.
and it picked the bike up, or you went over the cliff or whatever.
Oh,
It was
I
very,
see.
very dangerous at that time. But the power is instant then.
So you've got quite a few bikes over here. We've spoken about all of them, but it's never enough. What's next?
Oh, never is never enough. There will always be a Motor Guzzi Lamar Mark III. The Triumph Truxton, the 1200.
The 1200. I love that engine. Yeah.
Beautiful thing.
Beautiful.
The Suzuki bikes, the Kawasaki, the 6-cylinder, that Z1300, the Honda 6-cylinders, the GT750, the Z650s, all those bikes is that 70s, 80s era. That we've got a passion for that.
But I get you.
But even the new bikes are fine. You get a lot of the retro bikes as well. That's beautiful nowadays.
Yeah. Okay, well, next time I come here, you'll show. I hope you'll have all these bikes that you've named.
Definitely, we'll push for that. We'll push for that.
I'll give you a year.
As long as you send the funding, it's good.
So speaking Triumph and retro style bikes, I saw that you've got a Triumph over there at Buxton.
Yeah, that's actually a very special bike. I bought it from a friend of mine, Albert Bodenstein, as well as that 1200 Yamaha.
I saw that.
Those two bikes is immaculate. There you get a lot of retro bikes that the people nowadays go for, like the Royal Enfields and so on. There's a very big culture and following behind that, and I'll say if you buy one of those Royal Enfields now and you keep it, the price and the value of those bikes will just increase and increase.
Are you riding that Truxton at least? Because it's on the floor, it's not...
I'm driving it, but my next bike will definitely be a Royal Enfield.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, I'll hold you to that as well.
Definitely.
I saw a car on a trailer that looks like a race car. I think it belongs to you.
Yes.
Okay, I want you to talk to me about it. Come.
Definitely.
Oh, Eugene, shall we take a seat?
Yeah, let's do.
Looks like it's ready for us.
Good stuff.
This is really cool, by the way.
Thank you very much.
So this is a Birkin.
Birkin 7.
Birkin 7. Tell me more. How did this end up here? Because it's still in a trailer. What's the story?
Our main thing about this car is we actually want to use it as track days. I bought the car in Johannesburg. A guy advertised it, and it was in a state that we had to get it to a driving state again.
So it wasn't driving at the time?
It wasn't driving at the time. The wheels were flat, the braking system, some of the suspension parts. We had to get the engine in a running condition, the Weber carburetors, the fuel system, that kind of stuff. But boy, is it fun to drive.
Really? So are you done with it now? Is it sorted?
It's sorted, and our next step is track days.
So you haven't done a track day yet?
No, but we're going with it.
Well, I can see you're ready for it now. I mean, it's already on the trailer.
Definitely.
So what engine is this? What era? Where does it come from?
It's from 1995. It was a kit car that was developed, and they made it in kit form. So you bought the car, there was tax exclusions with regards to that at that time, and you could build the whole car.
Was that local or overseas?
Local and overseas.
Okay.
So you could build the car, and then at the end of the day you could register it. This one, unfortunately, I haven't registered it yet. I bought it from the guy, and he immigrated to Scotland. But as I say, we just want to use it for track days. Later on, maybe I'll register. I've got the paperwork, all that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah. Look, once it's ready, or once you're ready to take it out on track, you've got my number, Eugene.
I hope you'll fit,
Bell,
eh?
I think we'll both fit in, yeah.
It's tight, but we'll push it.
We'll push, we'll squeeze in.
Definitely.
Okay. So Eugene, when we first arrived here, there's a car that caught all of our attention on that side. It's white with a big wing, I'm sure you remember.
Definitely.
I think we need to go see that and talk about it. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a nice JDM import car, so I think you'll really like it.
I will love it. Let's go.
100%.
Eugene, I've been waiting for this for a while. This is a Mazda RX-7, am I correct?
Yes, it's a 1995 Mazda RX-7 FD.
1995.
Yes.
Look at the design.
The design is very Corvette-like.
Yeah.
You can see it's a little bit copied from that. And we were very privileged to buy this car from a gentleman in Pretoria. He bought it from the people that imported it from Japan. So it's a JDM one, and it's South African registered.
Very nice.
So it makes it really rare. You get a lot of imports, but this is the genuine one.
And how long have you had this for? When did you buy it?
We had it for about 4 or 5 years now. And we've enjoyed every moment of it.
I can imagine. It's a Rotary?
Rotary,
engine?
the RX-7 Turbo.
Yeah.
and we use it to go to Rotary Fest and all the Rotary events and so on, and it's brilliant. It's so enjoyable.
When you do want to sell, you know the story.
Cuckoo, you know the story as well.
Well, look, we can talk, friends can talk amongst friends, we can negotiate something. I do know the story, but you know.
We'll keep on talking.
Okay, 10 years from now. So Eugene, I know this has got a rotary engine in it, right?
That's correct.
Tell me more about what's in here.
It's got the 1308 twin turbo rotary engine.
So 1308 is a code name.
It's the capacity of the cylinder.
Oh, okay.
And it's got a twin turbo on it, and it's capable of speeds of about 250 very comfortably. It's got a great suspension for track days, for high speed. It's very comfortable to drive on high speeds as well, and it's just an all-round enjoyable car.
Look, I'd love to see the engine and learn how it works. You are the person, you're the person for this.
100%. We can actually show you the internals of a rotary engine, how it works. We've got a little model there, and then we can explain to you exactly the function of it and how it operates.
I'm sold. Come.
100%.
Let's go catch up with those other guys over there, Michael and them.
Gugu, you have the absolute privilege, and it is a privilege, of speaking to Eugene about the standout car here. It looks amazing, the RX-7, but as amazing as it looks, it's what makes it go. That is absolutely incredible, and we're looking at it. I've got 30 plus years in the motor trade. I can truthfully say this is the first time in my life that I've actually seen the workings of a rotary engine. Eugene, is it same for you?
Yeah.
Help us, teach us. I want to learn, and I'm sure many of our viewers and all our viewers want to know about this.
Good. Actually, it's very typical of a rotary engine to have the inlet on the top side. You get the inlet there at the back. The engine turns. You've got your normal compression ratio over here, where the inlet and the fuel comes in. Then you get the compression of the fuel mixture over there.
And like a little boy, sorry to interrupt you now, we're all used to the term piston, whether it be petrol or diesel.
Yes.
The fundamental is a rotary engine doesn't have a piston.
Not at all.
This is the equivalent of your piston.
Yes, this is its piston, and that's basically the rings.
Yes.
That portion, as well as the corners, seals, and the apex seals. So what you get is the compression of the fuel mixture there.
Right.
Then you get the normal where you ignite it through the two spark plugs,
Right.
and then the fuel mixture that's been burnt goes out this way, and it goes through the exhaust at that path, and it just keeps on doing that for 3 cycles.
Now you spoke about compression. Petrol engines run at a certain compression, diesels higher. What kind of compression does a rotary run at?
It's basically the same as the petrol engines. 9.3. The turbo's a little bit less, that kind of stuff.
Gugu, when you were speaking to Eugene, the one thing, I actually didn't know it, but it still hits home. Big car, big body, superb performance, but small CCs. 1308 is the claimed cubic capacity. What is the characteristics of a rotary that make it perform so good? Because a 1300 engine is tiny. What is the characteristics that give you that stupendous power?
I think it's basically the amount of combustion that you get, and also the freewheeling of the rotor. There's the piston normally goes and it stops at the top and then stops at the bottom, but this thing just keeps on spinning, and it's a smooth ride. It's completely different than driving a piston engine.
I actually have never driven a rotary yourself.
I've never either.
So now one of the questions I often ask, rotary engines have never taken off. Is it fair to say it was only Mazda that pursued the rotary route in any form, whether it be racing, in car production? What would you put that down to?
Yeah, I think the Japanese people took the lead with regards to that, and they developed it. They did the R&D on it, and they pushed through with it. And I'm really glad they did, and I really hope that they're going to push through it with another engine like that and another design.
That will be amazing. So for every positive, there's always got to be a negative. The positives, clearly the drive, clearly the performance, but there is one standout negative that I think those who are knowledgeable about rotaries will tell you. What is that?
The fuel consumption. and the apexes.
So on a petrol engine, from what I understand, if you were saying you were getting 15 kilometers per liter, you'd be doing well, or 20 kilometers per liter on a modern car. Yeah, you flip it, am I correct? 20 liters per 100, what would you be getting roughly?
We're talking about on the RX-8, about 10, 11 k's per liter.
That's not bad.
On a car like that's Bridgeport 3 k's a liter,
Wow.
it's very, very rough.
But look, with the price of fuel being as low as it is, at £3.50 at the garage, I'll buy that. Just kidding, doesn't exist. That is obviously, unfortunately, what will always hold back mass development of the Rotary concept. Who was the first person, let's see who knows, that designed the Rotary concept?
Yes, Felix Wankel, he developed it, and the first one was the NSU.
How old would he be today, 150?
I'm not too sure about that.
Should we ask
I
him?
wish he was still alive.
One of the things that I'm proud at, and I'm sure you will absolutely agree with me, wherever we go, we feel welcome. But there's different degrees of welcome. The welcome that we've got here today has been exceptional. Victor, Eugene, thank you for the invite. But for our viewers who want to experience what we experienced today, tell us about times, how they get to come to the museum.
They're most welcome to come. Saturdays we are open. We're always working on the cars here and stuff. Sunday afternoons, and during the week, yeah, I'm here after 1. I'm here always, so it's my business is here. But they're most welcome.
Thank you. Now, entrance fee is?
Zero.
Hulle skuld niks.
Zero. You come here because you for the love of cars, and we want to show you the cars, and we want you to come and share it with us.
For those who know me, I'm directionally challenged. So everywhere I go, I put it into SatNav. This address is going to be one of my favorites. Yours?
I'll be back. I told you I'll be back.
Definitely.
And we'll negotiate.
Good stuff.
Now, for our viewers, Victor, who would love to come here, one of the things, because the museum is not open as a typical museum 7 days a week, you do request that people come by appointment. Yes. Your phone number is showing on the screen right now. They're welcome to phone you, make a time.
Please, they're most welcome. We are open for the public. We want you to come and share our passion. And as you said, just phone us and make an appointment, and we will gladly.
Your passion shines through. I've said it once, I've said it twice, I'll say it again. We have felt so welcome. Thank you from the bottom of our heart. Eugene, thank you for
very
having
much
us.
for you people.
Victor, thank you for having
From my
us.
side, Lugu,
Appreciate it, guys. Eugene?
thank you for being here.
Thank you, Maya.
Thank you very
And
much.
always
much
welcome.
appreciated.
Please come again.
Thank
Well.
you.
Next week on All Things Motoring, we head to the Vaal with some of the biggest and oldest car clubs in South Africa. This year is MG Centenary, so we caught up with a few enthusiasts to chat about their love for all things MG.
Google, racing drivers. Everybody wants to be one. We're never going to be a racing driver, we know that.
Yeah.
But it's a privilege to interview them. There's 2 big upcoming motor races in South Africa, Kalami 9 Hour, we're covering
E3,
that.
yeah.
And the E-Prix in Cape Town,
You're
I'm
covering
covering
that?
Correct. But yeah, today, please tell us who we're speaking to.
This
Or
is
tell us who we are speaking to.
the local Stig. Meet the local Stig, Mike.
Is it fair to say that these guys don't talk a hell of a lot?
No, they don't. He's not okay.
Guys? Michael? Guys, I'm still here. Hey, guys.
All Things Motoring is owned and brought to you by CHANGECARS, South Africa's trusted online vehicle platform. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or just need advice, visit changecars.co.za.